Hey guys, Aaron here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to upgrade and install a Denali instrument cluster on your 2014 through 2018 Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra. Now the truck we're working on today is a 2015 Chevy Silverado WT model. It is a base model, so we're going to have to add some buttons on our steering wheel to be able to navigate the new instrument cluster, since the instrument cluster does not have any physical buttons on it. However, if you don't have a base model, you have, let's say, an LT or LTZ, you do not have to add the buttons on your steering wheel because you already have them. So with all that said, let's go ahead and go over the parts and tools we're going to need to get the job done. Now, the first thing that we're going to need is an instrument cluster from a Denali. This instrument cluster has been pre-programmed by White Auto and Media. They offer a fantastic service where you send them your VIN and they will program the instrument cluster to be plug and play. This is a brand new instrument cluster that they use directly from GM. So you don't have to worry about any scratching. You don't have to worry about being defective or used. Now, as far as the mileage goes, the instrument cluster will display the correct mileage when you install it. They don't have to pre-program the mileage into it, so you don't have to worry about the vehicle mileage changing, from once you purchase it to the day that you install it. Now, since we're working on a base model, we're gonna have to add some buttons onto our steering wheel, and the easiest way to do that is to purchase a brand new steering wheel with the buttons already on that. I'll put a link in the description of where you can do that. This is a nice one. This one doesn't have the heat function, the heat button, which is normally right here. I don't really need that as I'm in Arizona, but it has all the wiring and everything that you need to add the buttons to be able to navigate the instrument cluster, because without the buttons, you won't be able to scroll through any of the menus or change anything on the instrument cluster. It's just gonna be there. And then we're gonna have to add a wire to the back of the clock spring. We're gonna tap into one of the wires, and then we're gonna add a wire to the connector that goes into the back of the instrument cluster. Overall, it's a pretty easy job, but there are a couple tips and tricks that I'm gonna show you along the way. Now, as far as tools go, we'll need a flat blade screwdriver, pair of side cutters, 1/4-inch ratchet, 3/8 ratchet, 10mm socket, a butt connector. We'll need a 7mm socket with an extension, trim removal tool. A razor knife is going to come in handy, and then an impact with a 21mm socket for our steering wheel removal. All right, so the first thing that we're going to need to do is disconnect the battery. Since we are going to be removing the airbag, steering wheel, and instrument cluster, we don't want any electrical issues, especially with the airbag. So with a 10mm socket, you can disconnect your ground. And after you disconnect it, the first thing that I'm going to be doing is removing the instrument cluster. It's going to give us a little bit more room to get to the back side of the steering wheel. So the first step is going to be to remove this top cover. Nothing really holds it besides a little retaining clip. So what we're going to do is simply push up on it right here, and it'll come right off. And that will expose 3 7mm headed screws that we'll need to remove. All right, once you have the screws out, you're gonna wanna take your shifter and put it in the lowest possible setting. And what that allows to do is to take this trim piece and disconnect it. As you can see, there's just these 4 little retaining clips that hold the bottom portion in. Now that you have that off, there are 4 7mm screws we gained access to, and we can go ahead and remove those screws, and the cluster should come right out. So with those 4 screws removed, we can go ahead and take our instrument cluster out, and there's one connector on the back side that we'll need to disconnect. All right, so if you're just doing the instrument cluster and you're not doing the steering wheel like me, you can go ahead and throw your cluster in and pretty much reverse procedure, but we'll have to add one wire into the back of this connector, and we'll have to upgrade the steering wheel and add that circuit into the clock spring. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. Next thing that we need to do is remove the trim that goes around the steering wheel here. It simply just comes apart. There's no screws that hold it to the column itself. We need to remove this little adjuster here, and the way to do that is simply just take a flat tool and pry it out just like that. So next thing that we need to do is remove the airbag out of the vehicle, and there's actually two ways to do it. I have the new steering wheel here to show you. There's two slits, one on each side of the steering wheel. You could poke your screwdriver through these slits, and it'll allow you to compress a spring that is on the other side of this bracket here. And you'll have to kind of do one side at a time. But the way I like to do it is I'll turn the steering wheel 90 degrees, and it'll give me access to get a screwdriver back there. And what that'll do is that'll allow you to pry the spring inwards, and you can then with another hand take the airbag and pull it out and then get to the electrical connectors from there. So with the steering wheel turned 90 degrees, you can see the slit in the back of the steering wheel where we will need to take a screwdriver and depress the spring. Get you a little closer. There's one side. Now we can turn the wheel 90 degrees and do the other. Next, we need to very carefully take these orange tabs and lift them up with the screwdriver. Once we do that, we unlock them and we can remove the yellow connectors. And we'll set the airbag aside. All right, so from here, we need to take the wiring and disconnect it from the clock spring. There's a tab that you depress, and now we're good to take this nut off, and the steering wheel should pry right off. All right, so using a 21mm socket and an impact, we're gonna go ahead and take this nut off. Now with a little bit of brute force, we're just gonna take the steering wheel and kind of work it off one side at a time. There it is. All right, now that we got everything off, we can go ahead and add that circuit from the clock spring to the instrument cluster. That's going to allow our buttons on our steering wheel to control our instrument cluster. We're going to need to expose one wire that is down here. So I'm going to take a pair of snips and undo a couple zip ties, giving us a little bit more. And then I'm going to peel back this protective sheathing here to get to that wire. There's a tab on the back of the connector here that we can depress, and that'll allow the connector to come out of the clock spring, just like that. Carefully peel back the insulation here. And the wire we're gonna be looking for is dark green with a black stripe in position number 2. A little bit hard to see from the video here, but all of these pins are numbered, and pin number 2 is going to be this wire right here. This is the wire that we are going to be tapping our new wire that's going to the instrument cluster into. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to butt splice right into it with a weather tight butt connector. Make sure you get a good, nice and tight crimp on this this butt connector here. Now that we spliced correctly into that wiring harness, we can go ahead and plug in our clock spring connector. Now we could route this wire to the back of the instrument cluster. All right, so I routed the wire to our connector for the instrument cluster. And now what we need to do is take off this gray body and tap into pin number 20 on the back of this connector. I'll show you where that's at, but using a pick, I actually just took an Allen wrench and filed it down. We need to disconnect these two, or actually just press in these two tabs, which will allow us to take this black body of the back of the connector out to expose pin 20. There it is, and it just slides on out. Now we can find pin 20, and actually everything is labeled. So here's 17 on the left-hand side, and here is 32. So if we go 17, 18, 19, there is a black and white striped. 20 would be right next to it. So we need to make a little bit of room, and it's important to note the orientation of the pin itself. If you look to see the other wires, how the pin is inserted, you can kind of see the way that it needs to go. And it's gonna go that way. And it just clicked in. So we are ready to put the gray body back on. There we are. Now that we got our wire installed, we can put our instrument cluster on, our steering wheel back on, our trim on, and test it out. We're going to put our 4 screws in to secure the instrument cluster. All right, now that our trim is on, we can go ahead and throw our steering wheel on. The nice thing about this spline shaft is that it's actually keyed. And there's an arrow on the steering wheel where that key is. So when you take your airbag wires and put them through, you just line up with where that arrow generally is, and there's no wrong way that you can put it on because of that keyway on the shaft. It's always going to be centered for you. All right, let's take our controls for our buttons and plug them into the clock spring, and then we could take our airbag and reinstall them. It just presses in, and you can see those springs that we were having to depress. This one large U spring here, that's all you're simply doing is compressing them in like that. All right, now that we got everything put back together, it's time to go ahead and test it, see how everything works. Put your battery cable back on. And there we have it. As you can see, the buttons work. Scrolls through everything nicely. As you can see, everything works great. So that pretty much wraps it up for this video. Make sure to check out the links in the description for the parts and tools I used during this video. Thanks again as always, guys, and see you next time.